Greg Ehrenberg here with a monkey knife fight video for UFC this weekend. Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. Should be a really fun fight. Corey Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Winner probably going to get a title shot after this. If you guys are new to Monkey Knife Fight, head on over to monkeyknifefight.com or download their app. Use the promo code Awesemo when you're making your first deposit and get up to a $100 bonus on that first deposit. The first fight I'm looking at for this Saturday is going to be Hannah Goldy versus Diona Barboza. Now, Hannah Goldy, I think this is a pretty low prop here, more or less 69.5 significant strikes. If you look at some of the strike numbers during these girls' times in the UFC, Barboza absorbs 6.49 significant strikes per minute. Hannah Goldy, on the other side, pretty high output, 6.53 significant strikes landed per minute. I think there's a pretty good chance this fight ends up being pretty high scoring from a strike standpoint. So with that in mind, should be a 50-50 fight. I actually think there's a pretty good chance that both these girls hit the over on their strikes total just based on their output numbers. But I'm going to lead towards Hannah Goldy. I slightly favor her to win the fight, and she also has the lower strike total of the two. The next fight I'm looking at is Darren Elkins versus Darren Minner. Now, I think that it really makes sense to look at the less than 79.5 strikes for Darren Minner here. The reason being is that a lot of his fights end pretty quickly. His first three fights in the UFC ended in the first round, the second round, the first round. He's somebody who looks to employ a pretty grappling heavy game plan. So he attempts 3 takedowns per 15 minutes. He also only lands 3.24 significant strikes per minute. So what I think is probably going to happen here is Darren Minner is going to look for takedowns early. Maybe he lands a quick submission. If he doesn't, I kind of think that Darren Elkins is just going to be able to outlast him and outwork him on the feet. So Darren Minner, I think since his path to victory is going to be on the ground, he could win this fight quickly, and then he's going to be less than 79.5 significant strikes. Or if he doesn't land the takedowns, I think he just ends up losing on the feet, and Elkins outstrikes him. So I think the total here for Minner a little bit too high. Last fight that I'm looking at here is the main event, Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. Really fun fight, one of the most fun main events for a Fight Night card we've seen in quite some time. I do expect the winner of this fight is going to end up getting a title shot, and I think that is going to be Corey Sandhagen. And one of the main reasons is because he lands strikes at such a high volume. Also, TJ Dillashaw, over 2 years off, he was dealing with a PED suspension, and then he came back, and it was a cut eye in training camp leading up to the fight with Corey Sandhagen. They were supposed to fight a little while ago. So it's now been a really long layoff for TJ Dillashaw. We have not seen him fight since January 19th of 2019 when he lost via quick knockout to Henry Cejudo. That's really the only concern I have here with Corey Sandhagen not being able to land more than 78.5 significant strikes. Sandhagen has won 2 fights fairly quickly. Dillashaw lost his last fight pretty quickly. But other than that, I mean, Sandhagen lands at such a high volume. And the other thing, too, is with TJ Dillashaw, the time off, and he's also 35 years old. Who knows how comfortable he's going to look on the feet? Is there going to be rust there? So I pretty heavily favor Corey Sandhagen to win the fight. And I think there's a chance that maybe TJ Dillashaw, due to the time off, and also because he got knocked out last time out, maybe be a little bit cautious and try to keep distance. That might make it so that it's harder for Sandhagen to knock him out. But either way, I'm just going to look at the overall significant strikes numbers here. With Corey Sandhagen landing 6.85 strikes per minute, I think that number 78.5, that's just too low. Do not forget to watch tomorrow's main event between Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw. Should be a great UFC Fight Night card, but even more important than that, head on over to monkeyknifefight.com and make your first deposit using the promo code Awesemo. Get up to a $100 bonus on that first deposit.